As I said to somebody the last time we were in this building, when I first came here, which was in 1965, if you can believe that, I was the baby. So there were all, on these walls are all these pictures of all these women who served in Sisterhood, and I was the baby. And all of a sudden, I got to be not the baby anymore, like I'm second after Marilyn. Marilyn is the oldest, and I'm second following Marilyn. But we have been together and done so many things. I mean, we actually drove to Northfield on Thursday nights, every other Thursday, to get McDonald's, because we didn't have a McDonald's here. I mean, we were really in the middle. My mother said, this is like the middle of nowhere. She said, it's like you dropped off the face of the earth. And I said, when Columbus went around the world and he thought the world was flat, I said, this is the drop-off point, which it was at the time, and it still is a little, but now we have 2 McDonald's, or 1 McDonald's, whatever. Anyway, Marilyn decided to attend a sisterhood meeting in September of 1960, and 2 local women, which was Lola Turner and Paula Good, who were both first cousins to each other, okay, and they both passed, were kind enough to pick up Marilyn and bring her to the sisterhood meeting. It just so happened that sisterhood was looking for a treasurer at that meeting, thinking it would be a good way to meet others. Marilyn raised her hand and was elected financial secretary. She never looked back, and the finances were never better when Marilyn was in charge.
I became very friendly with the Podells when Arnold talked me into joining the Lions Club here. And that was why they were together for dinner a lot of the times, because we had a Lions meeting. They were looking for some place to go, so they would hit McDonald's. Marilyn retired in November of 2021. 61 years of continuous service. Can you imagine that? And for decades, she was at the heart of the synagogue life and critical to its financial health. After having started, when she first came, she started in that position and never stopped. She served mostly as financial secretary, but also volunteered on numerous committees and helped with fundraising events. During the 1990s, that year they had financial difficulties. And Marilyn created helped create the Save Our Synagogue, it's called the SOS Fund, fundraising committee. And they had it for 12 years. Marilyn spent decades serving on the Hanukkah Ball fundraiser event. We had Hanukkah balls, as we said before, they were terrific. The donor lunches, various dinners, and highly successful 50-50 raffles. We have a lot of people who were known, the president, vice president, and made themselves known to the congregation. Marilyn would just do her job and do it well. And as a result of that, after we had the terrible difficulties here, we were on our way back, thanks to Marilyn. And she was also seen frequently at the welcoming table at events. Actually, at door, collecting money, making sure people paid, but importantly, catching up to members and congregants. Marilyn was a fixture with her welcoming smile, friendly hello, and knowing a little something about everyone.
And of course, for those that know Marilyn, she was also found in the synagogue kitchen, cooking and preparing food. Ruthie, you're a wonderful cook, but we don't know how good you really are until you're here a couple of years and see what she can do, okay? You can go back and forth between each other. Sometimes she had to stand on a stool so she could see what was doing in these large industrial pots used to feed the tens and hundreds of people for dinners and events. She snuck in spices in her apron when the head chef was not looking, because she would season the food the way she liked it to be. That is why the food always tasted so good.
And we always look forward to the holidays at Marilyn's house.
And that was something else, Passover. You don't have Passover, you haven't lived till you have duck for Passover, kosher duck. The things that she would make, and we would go both nights, she would invite us both nights. And one year, when my father-in-law was still alive, and we were supposed to have dinner, Michael, her oldest son, and his wife were delayed in getting down here from New York. We didn't sit down for Seder until after 10 o'clock that year. I thought my father-in-law was gonna pass out, but he was okay, and we still had a wonderful, wonderful meal. So we came home at 1 o'clock in the morning.
It was always wonderful. Marilyn was at her best working with others. She brought out the best in people with her warm heart, felt breathings, can-do attitude, her dedication and commitment to Beth Judith. Others knew that they could count on her, and they really did. And this motivated them to do their best. Marilyn did not do it alone, and for decades, she worked with so many dedicated Beth Judith members, such as this person sitting next to me, standing next to me, Berta Gold, Paula Goodman, Lola Turner, Miriam Hirsch, and so many others that many who left our town. As Joyce said, she and Marilyn were the last of that group.
So, in the booklet that you have on the table, it talked about Marilyn's family. Marilyn and Arnold were married, what, 45 years? Marilyn and Arnold were married. They had 3 children, Michael, he's a veterinarian, and who was in charge of, he worked in Chicago and had the animals from Brookfield Zoo, and he would work on lions, and he would work on gorillas. He had the big ones with the big brains, because this is what he did, was brains of animals. And he's married to Sue. They now live in Columbus, Ohio. Their oldest daughter, Rachel, is going to become a mother in January, and Marilyn can't wait to be a great-grandmother. And her second daughter, Dana, just got married October 15th down here at Icona and Avalon, and had a kosher meal. And she's married, and she lives in Israel, and her husband is an engineer in Israel, and they were able to get back. They had to get back because they were told by Shlomo that they needed him in Israel, so he's back, and she's coming back again for another tour. And then Kenny, who was here this past weekend, had one of his sons here, and another son will be getting married in the spring. And we found out that Kenny has a ring from the Houston Astros because he is one of the doctors on their staff. So he got a
World Series ring,
which is a pretty exciting thing. And then Linda, their daughter, lives around Lakewood, right? And she has 2 children. She has Gabby and Harrison. Harrison is the best golfer you've ever seen in your life. Doesn't say a word, but hits that ball, and he's really terrific. So she has 6 wonderful grandchildren, 3 and 3, and looking forward to this new baby girl who will be coming soon.
and I did play golf with him, and he was single-digit handicap, so.
Amazing.
Gets to stand up to the ball, boom, straight 4. And mine mine's straight, but not the 4. Anyway, Marilyn? We thank you for your dedication, your hard work, your love for the community. We love you.